for the past couple of years, there have been more than 40 unicorn companies being, or unicorn startups that $60 billion over the past 3 4 years, 12 billion on 2020 alone. I mean, this was during
Yeah,
the time of COVID, and it clearly shows the development within the industry of the country. In terms of the electronics industry, when COVID happened, the world almost shut down, supply chain problems, chip shortage. How has India's industry, particular sectors in India, able to handle the situation when it comes to the chip shortage? How were they able
yeah.
to handle this?
When it comes to the chip shortage, now see, the semiconductor industry is a very small industry, which is comprised between two or three countries. Like wafers were built up in America, and the silicon was very much built up in Taiwan.
Mm-hmm.
And the complete manufacturing of the ICs and all were done in China, and some of the part of Vietnam. They had shifted some of the units there in Vietnam. The part is ki once the COVID hit now into the industries, the wafers were very much in less quantity. The IC were very much hit, and that is the reason how the prices suddenly goes up. Even to the displays, the prices goes up in Indian industry also, because once the COVID hit, the people goes into onto the digital campaigning, and digital performance is driven currently. Just like the offices were shut, and we people are working from home, and it's completely online. For that purpose, we are required of the laptops or mobile phones. This had increased the potential of means the supply chain. The industries were shut down, at the verge of shutdown for 3 to 4 months, and this led the industry to slow down the productions. Just like after the first wave also, there was a second wave, and in second wave also many things had changed down. So people were very much not good of getting the things done. So that is the reason the government of India had initiated a major playback role in this thing, and introduced the PLI scheme. This is called performance linked incentives, and they had secured in billions of $23 billion PLI scheme they had introduced for setting up the semiconductor units in India. Whatever the requirement we people have in terms of electronics industry, like mobile phones, LED TVs, audio systems, the servers and the laptops, and other than that, the EV industry, because India is also boosting their EV industries, and by 2024, India is going to be the complete EV setup as per the government, and as per the role what we are playing up. So this has enhanced the government has supported many of the new startups, even to the old startups, and even to the old companies as well. Tata, then Reliance, then Adani Group is there. They had also supported many of the Chinese. Even Foxconn is willing to participate in getting this. Vedanta is willing to get into the chip industries. Tata and Vedanta are the major player who are going to establish their manufacturing unit, and it is around $230 billion industry going to be by 2024. And this is how the government is supporting in terms of getting the chips. And other than that, the major players, just like if I say a few names, like Foxconn, which
Mm-hmm.
is the a major manufacturer of Apple, Wistron, then Mi, Vivo, Oppo, Samsung, they had already looking forward to the crisis what to be happen in the next future. They had allocated the industry the chips for their 4-year plan, and already they had planned up for their next 4 years, that
Mm-hmm.
they had this manufacturing. So this shortage is majorly happening with the small players, not with the big
Mm.
players, because you know that if there is a quantity in this crisis time, the many of the small players had declined their business. In terms of getting the revenue terms, in complete overall picture of electronics industry, we had increased the revenue of around 3.7% from 2020 to 2021.
Mm-hmm.
This is how the things changed up, and people had very much taken this as a positive thing. Many has invested a lot into the semiconductor industry and the EV industry and the mobile industry.